everybody, I'm Cassandra from Craft to Believe After, and welcome to another video. Now friends, today is going to be a bit of a combined video. It is the reveal video for hooking up with books, the book club that I'm doing with my very good friend Caroline over at For the Love of Crochet. But because I didn't have my regular video yesterday, I normally bring videos out on a Sunday, I thought I'd do a little bit of extra chatting within this video. So let's get started with, I think, the hooking up with books section of the video. I'll start off with that because I've got some very cute projects. And then at the end of the video, I've got a little vlog that's sort of linked to one of the themes within the hooking up with books. The book that we did the last 2 months was The Marsh King's Daughter. And it was a bit of a difficult book for me to read. Now, I didn't proper read it. I did it I listened to it as an audiobook, but I did complete the entire book. I like listening to audiobooks these days when I'm crocheting. But The Marsh King's Daughter for me was an extremely heavy book. It was a little, I don't know how to say it, a little disturbing. It's got a lot of themes of abuse and violence, and there was some torture in it at one point, hunting. It was beautifully written. I have to say that the descriptions that the author uses to describe the area in which most of the book takes place, the marsh, it's beautifully written. So even though I've never seen that area of the United States that they talk about, I could actually visualize it from the descriptions or how the author describes the area. It was very beautifully described. The writing is really good, but it was such a heavy story, not my usual read. I don't know if I can say that I recommend it or not. For me it was a little heavy. I'm not I like a good murder mystery. For most of you, you'll know I'm a massive Agatha Christie fan, but that's sort of more a detective story. That's more, it doesn't focus so much on the murder than it focuses on the people, the psychology of the people as the detective is trying to solve the murder. It's sort of, I don't know, murder light. I don't even know if that's the correct description, but I don't like heavy books that feel so realistic. I don't know, it was very heavy. But be that as it may, there were several excellent things that you could take from that book to crochet projects from. So in that sense, I did enjoy finding so many different forms of inspiration, and I made multiple projects for this week's video. And as always, I will have a short little slideshow at the end just showing the submissions I got in for this the book that we did this time. I think I had about 5 or 6 submissions, projects that people submitted based on their inspiration they found from the book. Please also head over to Caroline's video. I'm looking forward to see what she crocheted. Sometimes we do have different people submitting to us, so I'm also looking forward to seeing what the projects were that were submitted to her. It's always fun to have like this community involvement in hooking up with books. Anyway, let me get going on the projects that I completed this week. Now, first of all, within the first few pages, you find out that Helena, the main character, she makes her own jams and jellies and that she sells. So I thought I wanted to do something like a jam cover or bottle cover. And I found this very cute pattern on the Yarnspirations website. So it's a free pattern. I will link it down below. And it is this cute little jar topper. Now this one I made with Rainbow Cotton 86, which is a sport weight yarn or a yarn weight 2. So if you use a thicker yarn, obviously you can fit it over a slightly larger bottle. But these bottles, I've got loads of them. They're actually little pasta or pizza sauce jars that we get them every Friday, because every Friday is pizza night. So I've got hordes of these little bottles. I really like their size. But I liked this pattern, and the Yarnspirations pattern comes with these little mini strawberries that you can put on the tie. It also has something like, I think, an orange slice, and then I think the last one is either a raspberry or a mulberry. I can't quite remember, but there's 3 different types of little fruits that you can add to the ends of the ties, which I thought was so cute. It was such a fun pattern to do. I did do a second one, although I didn't crochet any of the fruits. I just added some red beads that I had. I tied it to the end. I really liked the contrast of the red in the green. This is a thicker weight cotton. It is the Fruta from Hobby, which is a 4 weight cotton. So this one, this jar cover, did turn out definitely bigger than this one, but I really enjoyed this pattern, and I actually thought that was it. I've done my project. And my husband, who also without like having a choice in the matter, he sort of also listens to the audiobook if we're in the same room, so he followed the story from beginning to end. And once I showed him my project that was done, he said, "You really should have made the dog." And I couldn't believe that I didn't think of it, because Helena's dog, both while she was in the marsh and right at the end, or the second part of the book where she's actually tracking her father that's escaped from prison, in both of those, her dog plays an integral part of the happenings. And I couldn't believe that I didn't think even at all. I didn't even originally pick up on that idea for a project, but when my husband mentioned it, I knew I had to do a dog as part of one of my projects. I had a load of time because I'm still on vacation. I've got a 2-week vacation time off from work. We're not going anywhere, so we're just at home, around Copenhagen. So I had loads of time left before today's video. I thought, okay, perfect. Let me see which cute, quick dog pattern I've got in one of my books that I can whip up as another project. And I recently showed this book, Snuggle and Play Crochet, as one of my top 5 books. This one has this very cute Dylan the dog. So there you have it. This is the puppy. I thought, perfect. These patterns are really easy and they're really quick, and I always like how they turn out. And this is my little dog that I crocheted, and I really, really like him. His face is super cute. Now, I did change the pattern, or I tried to change it. Normally, I don't mind sewing on heads to bodies, so it doesn't really bother me if the head and the body are 2 separate pieces. I don't mind it. But for this one, I thought, I started with a head. I thought, okay, there's no weird shaping for the body. I'm going to just try and continue with the body and do the head and the body as one piece. But somewhere in between all of the movies and the series that I've been watching, I lost count somewhere of my rows, and my dog's body is a few rows shorter than what it's supposed to be. But once I added the little scarf, you won't be able to tell that it's like 2 or 3 rows too short. So this one, such a cute dog pattern. I really like this one. This one took so quickly to make. I think I did it like in half a day, if it was that. The pieces are fairly simple. They don't have odd shaping. There's no very difficult color changes. I just enjoyed making this a lot. Now this little dog I made, again, my favorite hobby, rainbow cotton. Well, it's a mixture between either rainbow cotton and Friends cotton 8/6, a sport weight number 2. I really enjoy this cotton. It's very soft, very easy to work with. And as you know, the majority of my project that I show you guys on the channel is made with rainbow cotton or Friends cotton 8/6. So this was my second project inspired by the book, thanks to my husband's brilliant idea to make a dog. Now, as the projects from, or the submissions came in from other people who joined in the book club, there were 2 projects that were frogs. Now, a large part, or in the front of the books, there's like pieces of a story that's called The Marsh King's Daughter. And The Marsh King's Daughter is actually a story by Hans Christian Andersen, who, if you do not know, is a Danish, or he was a Danish author. So there are loads of statues throughout Copenhagen and Denmark of Hans Christian Andersen. Obviously, the most well-known story is The Little Mermaid, of which there's also a statue. I recently did a little vlog where I showed you. But today, so part of my vlog is taking you to one of the castles very close by to where I live, about 3 kilometers. It's one of the smaller castles in the country. Beautiful, beautiful. The gardens are spectacular. I just love it. It's very calm. You know, it's also the castle where the royal or the crown jewels are being held. So it's very special in that sense. Beautiful, beautiful place. Like I say, actually quite small for a castle, but I took my following project there to take a photo. And as I mentioned, I think 2 of the projects that were submitted was a frog. And this is because The Marsh King's Daughter, the Hans Christian Andersen story, has as the main character, it's sort of a split, almost like a cursed girl who's the Marsh King's daughter. At night, she's this ugly frog, but she's got this beautiful personality. And in the day, she's this beautiful, beautiful princess, but she's got a very cruel and quite a terrible personality. So it's like the fight between the good and the evil. So throughout this book that we read, most chapters start with a little excerpt. What do you call it? Like a little, a little small bit of the story that starts the chapter off. And right at the end of the book, it almost ends with the entire Hans Christian Andersen story. So, of course, when I saw the very cute frog projects that was submitted, I really wanted to do a frog as well, because I thought it would be perfect if I then do a little vlog, but I take a photo of my frog at one of the Hans Christian Andersen statues. And this was the little frog that I completed. Now, this one is a free pattern that I got from the blog or the website of Lilelise. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know that Lilelise, she's one of my favorite designers. I've got multiple of her patterns. I've got 2 of her books. And like I say, she's got fantastic little free patterns on her blog. And this little frog was one of them. So I will link this pattern down below as well. Works up very, very quickly. Nothing weird, nothing strange. So I finished this little frog as well to sort of show the inspiration behind, you know, the book that we did that was linked to The Marsh King's Daughter, which is the story by Hans Christian Andersen. So I will show you all of our projects, all of the projects that I've received for our hooking up with books. And then after that, I will do just a few clips that I took this morning. We were actually there this morning. Today is Monday, the 15th. I should have known it's the 15th because it's the reveal video for hooking up with books. So today, this morning, we went to Rosenborg Castle. Beautiful. It's one of my favorite places to visit. It's close by. We also went to the most fantastic tea shop, a tea and coffee shop. It's it's not a place where you can sit, you know, and have coffee. They just sell like this large array of fantastic tea blends and coffee, you know, different types of coffee, and it was just beautiful. So there's a few clips of that in as well. But just so that you know, so there'll be a little slideshow of the projects and then a little mini vlog of where I took a photo of this cute girl at the Hans Christian Andersen statue. So I hope you like seeing a bit more of Copenhagen. As you know, I've been enjoying showing you little parts of the areas that's close to where I live. This one, like I say, 3 kilometers, not far at all from our apartment. Beautiful, beautiful place in the city to visit. And that's it. That's it for hooking up with books for this month. Our next book that will start from today for the next 2 months is All the Light We Cannot See. So I've got the audiobook for that one, which I've started. Now I have watched the mini series on Netflix, and I highly, highly recommend it. It was such a beautiful, I found it a very inspiring story. So it is set during the Second World War. So just be aware there are obviously the regular wartime elements within it, but it's not like a gruesome, it's not violent. It just follows the story of this girl who's blind, and she's from France, and then a boy the same age as her who is from Germany, and how their paths cross. It was just beautiful. I really, really enjoyed the mini-series. Certain parts of the mini-series was a bit, how can I, obviously when you put a book into a movie or a mini-series, they do change it for viewing value. So a few scenes that was actually so beautiful in the book, because I'm about halfway through the audiobook. There's scenes that's actually so beautiful in the book, but that's a little more dramatic in the mini-series. But still, the mini-series is beautiful. It's like a 4-part mini-series on Netflix. So if you have the chance and you don't want to read the book, but hooking up with books, you don't actually have to read if you don't feel like it. For instance, my friend Pamela from Ginger Cat Crochet, she always joins in on our book club. She most of the time sends us a project. She didn't want, for her own reasons, to read the book, but she took inspiration from the cover of the book for her project, and that's perfect. So if you just want to you don't want to read the book, but you want to use the cover, or you want to use the movie or the mini-series, there's so many ways in which you can participate. So I'm really looking forward to actually finishing the audiobook for All the Light We Cannot See. So in 2 months' time, we'll do another project reveal. I hope many of you will join in again, as you always do. So just now, for the next 2 months, what is that, 15th of September, we will have the reveal for All the Light We Cannot See. All right, friends, last thing I want to throw in before I end this video, and of course it has to be the hashtag Amigurumi World Tour 2024. It's been an exciting few days. I've heard from Christina over in Portugal. She let me know her project yesterday. She's doing the duck from, as you know, we're working from this book, Whimsical Stitches. Many, many, many of you have joined in. It's been fantastic. The book is up to date and on my blog. I will link that down below. You are welcome to email me your photos throughout. I'm keeping the projects open, so there's no deadline once a project has been chosen. You can just, whenever you get time to make one of the projects that's been chosen already, you can send me a photo and I'll add it to the page. But the project before the duck was this cute pie. So many of you have sent in your cute little pie photos. I did, although I really don't like making food, I did want to make this little cute pie. It is, as you can see from the color, a key lime pie. which is one of my favorite flavors of pie. I also really like lemon meringue. And I like apple pie. So that was my entry for the pie. I've already added it on to our journal. And then when Christina last night let me know that her choice is the duck, I got onto it straight away this morning before we went for our outing to Rosenborg Castle. And I whipped up this cutie. Now he's very, very tiny because I made him with Rainbow Cotton 8/4 and a 2.5 millimeter hook. So all of the projects that I made, like this one, that's with the Rainbow Cotton 8/6, I also use a 2.5 millimeter hook. With my Rainbow Cotton 8/4, which is a fingering weight yarn, a yarn weight 1, 2.5 millimeter hook. But this little ducky did not take long at all to make. I really enjoyed it. Came out super adorable, and I really like this teeny tiny little size. So that was from our international book, Christina in Portugal. I think she will bring out a video, if I'm not mistaken, also today. But I will share the video as soon as her video is available. Her channel's name is Knitting Books, etc. Then my friend Cheryl from Curly Moose Crochets, she let me know yesterday that she has received the book. She is in California, so our US project will be revealed today as well. So I'm waiting for Cheryl to let me know what project she chose. So we will have this new project from the international book, The Duck, and very, very soon we'll have our US project. So the books are moving along. It's really exciting when it gets to the next person, and we're waiting to see what the project's going to be. So many of you are sending me photos every day. I love it. Please keep on sending me your photos. It is such a joy to see. But that's it. So an update on our Amigurumi World Tour. It's been so much fun. Hooking up with books, I always enjoy it. Always enjoy seeing the projects that's being submitted. And I always love chatting with you guys. So, friends, I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoy the lineup of projects and the little vlog to Rosenborg Castle. And as always, you guys, until I see you in the next video, stay safe and stay crafty.